Hello and welcome to the 34th edition of the Local Lowdown podcast. My name is Zach Bishop, and I am joined over the phone by.
Danny Shanholzer.
All right, thank you very much, Danny, for joining me from the car. It sounds like. How are you on this fine evening?
I'm good, Zach. Thanks for having me on, man. I know it's a little different calling in, but ready to talk some sports, buddy.
Yeah. And today we're going to be focusing on the NCAA tournament. We are through to the Sweet 16 as we sit here today. The tournament is entering its, I believe it's the final day off with no games here today. So we thought it'd be a good time to kind of recap what has happened, all the upsets, all the big games. There have been a couple upsets that I want to talk about, and I'm sure Danny has a couple of things that he would like to talk about as well. So Danny, we will start with you.
Yeah, Zach, dude. March Madness this year has been electric. I mean, man, oh man, there's so many places to start. But I would love to start um, talking about the 3 versus 14 matchup that took place in our home base of Pittsburgh, where it was the Oakland Golden Grizzlies outlasting the Kentucky Wildcats in an absolute thriller of a game. I mean, I really gave so much credit to Oakland that expected to beat Kentucky. And, I mean, they really did that. Jack Golke is really embracing his fame that's come along with him having such a stellar game in the NCAA tournament. I believe he had 9 3-pointers in the win against Kentucky, and was just an unbelievable spark plug for them. But what I found so awesome about the Oakland win was obviously Jack Golke, for every shooter out there that really, perfects their craft. It really showed that, anything is possible if you work hard and you keep working on your shooting technique. But also too, Oakland expected to win this game, Zach. I don't know if you saw the shot in the locker room after the game, and Oakland was already prepping for their next game, which is against NC State. They weren't all celebrating and all the other stuff that a lot of teams do after they pull off a big upset. They expected to win, and Greg Campy, who has been Oakland's head coach for forever, really thought that his team was one of the best in the field. And they went blow for blow with NC State. And NC State, as we can talk about later too, dude, NC State is one of the hottest teams out there right now, Jack. I really think they have a chance to make it to the Final Four. But the Kentucky Oakland game was just one of my favorites to watch of the weekend, just because of how electric the atmosphere was for Oakland and just how everything transpired with Jack Golke hitting all those threes. This is why we watch March Madness, and it was just super, super awesome to watch.
Yeah, Danny, the game that stuck out to me. Well, both the games that were played at TBT Banks Arena here in Pittsburgh were very entertaining. The Creighton game, that was really fun, and I believe that was the one that went into double overtime. Whatever day that was, but yeah, that was a really fun one. And I think
Yeah.
all the games so far, and really the ones that I've watched at least, have been fun to watch. Let's see if I can get my screen up here. I'll put the official bracket up. Give me 1 second. Danny, talk about Duquesne. Give me a little bit about the Duquesne game.
Oh, for sure, Zach, for sure, man, dude. Again, it's one of the reasons why I love March Madness is just there's really no reason why a team can't go on a run. And for Keith Dambrot and the rest of the Duquesne Dukes. I mean, it was really an awesome game. You know, Duquesne, and I'm glad that they brought this up in their press conference over BYU because I think a lot of people, didn't really realize this. Duquesne started 0-5 in the season, and Duquesne is a team that plays in a one bid league in the Atlantic 10 Conference.
Mm-hmm.
So Duquesne really, I mean, they just played so well down the stretch, and I mean, for Duquesne again, it's just a historic win. I believe it was the first time that they won an NCAA tournament game since 1969. So I mean, dude, the fact that definitely carries some magnitude. And Day Grant, a senior that's been around the program that Keith Denbrough really worked with. I mean, it just for those guys and for a lot of those program guys. I mean this is why March Madness is so cool because you really see some of these mid-major teams really show what they're made of. I mean, Jimmy Clark too for Duquesne. I mean, he finished the game against Illinois, which again was a valiant effort. I think Illinois is one of the best teams in the tournament. So I mean, they obviously blew out Duquesne, but Duquesne still had 63 points. So I mean, Jimmy Clark finished with 14 points against Illinois. I mean, dude. I mean, these guys are really taking advantage of being on a stage that's as big as what March Madness is. So I mean, and you look. I mean, it's Keith Denbrough's final year at the helm of Duquesne. He's been coaching for forever. He was LeBron James' high school coach. So I mean, it was just. I mean, and I know his wife is going through cancer treatment right now. So he was obviously very emotional after his first round win. But I mean, he said that he really believes that that this win and this run by Duquesne is putting Duquesne and Pittsburgh basketball on the map, which I just think is awesome.
Yeah, Denny. Yeah, I really like watching. Yeah, even though that Duquesne game, and I had picked Duquesne to win the first game, which they did, and then lose to the
Yeah,
Fighting Illini in the second round. Um, but like I said, 63 points. That's not to sneeze at.
exactly.
And also the fun. I like the fun fact about Keith Dambrot being LeBron James's high school coach. All right.
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah,
fact that we were watching the same game as LeBron James, like that's
yeah,
pretty cool. Like
yeah.
I mean he was all over it, and that's what's awesome too about March Madness is like just really see all the different connections that celebrities have to schools and everything like that. So
Yeah.
that was really awesome to see.
All right, Danny. I'm now showing the official bracket here on screen. Danny, talk to me about the. I can't scroll this. Hold on. Talk to me about the this Houston where's the Houston matchup here with Texas A&M. Did you see that one? Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, all the credit in the world to go to Bud Williams, and Texas A&M. I mean, I heard somebody talking about it after the game on I think it was just ESPN. And they were saying how much of a similar style of basketball both Texas A&M and Houston both play. And I think what Texas what Houston was able to do um, against Texas A&M is obviously they were not neither team was really hanging their hat on them, and it ended up being 100-95 in overtime. So I mean, that's a very high scoring affair, especially in um, college basketball where the defense is more more intense than the NBA. But I mean, I'll try to get the numbers up real quick. But I mean, I think Houston was just able to kind of outlast the push of Texas. I mean, just big games from LJ Cryer had 20 points, and uh, Jeremy Shedd had 21 points, and so both of those scores, those tandem scores, I think really will Houston to a win. And I think it's apparent, and coaches always talk about winning in different ways in
Right.
March because there's no formula. There's no one formula that works in March because, like you said, I mean Texas A&M they scored 95 points, with
Yeah.
95% of time in college basketball. 95 points should be enough if you play some semblance of defense to win you a game. But obviously, I mean, all the credit in the world should go to Houston and just their ability to outlast Texas A&M, Zach. But I mean, like you said, man, I mean, that was a tremendous game. But I mean, there's been no shortage of those as there seems to be every year. But that was a tremendous game.
Okay, Danny. All right, now I'm going to go back to the bracket and put this into full screen. Okay, there we go. All right, now so since we're here at the Sweet 16, Danny, I'm now showing the bracket on screen here. So we have in the Sweet 16, we have and Danny's giving me predictions straight down the line here. UConn, San Diego State.
Yeah, so for UConn San Diego State, yeah, San Diego State, I'll be honest, I never watched a ton of them in the regular season, and because they're in the West, so they just play them makes them all to like 10:30 usually, and so all, these West Coast teams I'm not as familiar with, but yeah, I mean San Diego State is always a team in the in more time if they find a way. You know, they
Yeah.
were in the national championship last year, I believe. Oh, against UConn. And so it's kind of a rematch of sorts. I think that Mondo is tremendous. I mean, with Donovan playing and the rest of their perimeter shooting quarters. I mean, UConn is a team that just can run the floor tremendous ways. I mean, Donovan Clinton can beat most guards down the court at the court. That's that's impressive. I think Dan Hurley and UConn have really kind of inflated this. I think like something to prove mentality because they're kind of using the fuel of like, oh, we had the toughest path to the Final Four. But Dan Hurley is an expert motivator. I mean, I would just really enjoy listening to his coaching and John that. But they were playing Texas in a 116 game. They were up by 25 or some points at halftime. And
Yeah.
Dan Hurley don't have anything to be annoyed at his players for. And that's just the high standard that UConn expects all the time. So I have UConn going all the way, and I think that they will. I think San Diego State could put up a fight because they are a very, very tough out. They have
Hmm.
more talent in general, so I think UConn will win that game.
Yeah, that was funny. The halftime interview, I believe that was in this that 116 game where he's like nah, he's like we don't, yeah, that was funny. Very memeable, that one.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And here's the thing too: is like I really admire that to a certain degree. Is like, cause he knows that his players can be better. But like the fact he wasn't even annoyed about the overall execution. I think he was annoyed about the speed and everything. He's like, this time of year everything should be automatic. Like it seems pretty automatic because they're like 25. That's why he's
Right. All right, Danny. Next, Illinois, Iowa State, 3-2 matchup.
Oh man, I'm going back and forth because Iowa State is a very they are a defensively focused team, right? But I mean they can also they down the ball very well. But Illinois, I mean Illinois also does everything well. I think honestly, Jack, I'm looking at the percentages right now, and both the one weakness that I see is that their field goal percentage is pretty comparable, you know. But both teams free throw percentage. Illinois got 33.6, and Mark Madness, Cyclones had 59.7,
Mm-hmm.
and that's surprising. That's surprising me. Free throws are always, a area of the game that really. I mean, you look at the game and you're like, man, you know, if they hit more free throws, it could be a different game. So I think free throws is gonna determine the outcome of the game. But I mean, watching Illinois, I just really think their ability to drive and dip and just their overall perimeter shooting, along with the rebound, Coleman Hawkins. Remember watching him in high school. He's on this prolific stuff that I used to really enjoy watching. He's a really good player that I enjoy watching for Illinois. So I think Illinois is gonna win against Iowa State, but I would look for free throws as the one of the deciding factors again.
Mm-hmm. Next, North Carolina and Alabama. That is a 1-4 matchup.
Man, that's good. I mean, this is going to be a bandit. I think the same thing about Michigan State and North Carolina in the round of 32 because we'll get two teams that have been there before. And Alabama, I think, like a lot of people, just, I think, are leaning towards, picking against Alabama because they view Alabama as obviously more of a football school, but they're a consistent NCAA tournament team, and they played against Grand Canyon, and they were able to just play fast. That's what Alabama does. I think is just they're able to run in transition and get the shots that they want. But I think again we always talk about. I remember talking to you about talking about rebounding on an earlier edition of this podcast when North Carolina beat Pitt because of Armando Bacot and his ability to punish teams on the glass. So I think because of Armando Bacot's ability to rebound the ball and alter shots in the paint, I think it's going to be a close game, and Alabama's going to throw everything they have at UNC. But I think R.J. Davis, Armando Bacot, and the experience of the Tar Heels will outlast the Crimson Tide.
All right, and wait. No, that is right. All right, and lastly, to close out the left side of the bracket, we have Clemson and Arizona.
Oh, Zach, dude, this again. I mean, you get to the Sweet 16, you've shown that you can win games, right?
I will point out you have not picked an upset yet.
Okay, and Zach, I mean, I am still a little salty that Clemson got in over Pitt, but they have shown, as the ACC have shown, that the ACC is a pretty dang good conference. So I am gonna choose the upset here, Zach, and pick Clemson. PJ Hall. If PJ Hall stays out of foul trouble, he's one of the most effective post players left in this tournament. And I mean, credit to Clemson, man. I thought they were seeded too high to 6 seed. But they're here, man. So I this is the one that I feel least confident about because Arizona with Caleb Love obviously is very good. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Clemson, man.
And Danny, rapid fire here. We have Houston and Duke.
I'm gonna go Duke. Stick with the ACC.
NC State Marquette.
Sticking with the ACC. NC State on a heater because of DJ Burns Jr. Man, I'm gonna go NC State.
Purdue Gonzaga.
Oh man. Oh, I'm gonna go Purdue. I'm gonna go Purdue reluctantly.
And lastly, Creighton and Tennessee.
I'll go Tennessee. I think the Vols are peaking at the right time.
So that would be Tennessee and Purdue. Pick between Tennessee and Purdue.
I'll go Purdue.
Okay, so Purdue's in there. And then you picked. Actually, we're not gonna do that. We're running out of time here. Danny, your pick for the national champion.
Everybody can rightfully call me a bandwagon because I am going with the least exciting pick that there is here. I mean, I feel good because I'm sticking with what I put as my pick for my bracket. So I'm gonna go UConn, man. UConn going back to back. I just think they are very talented.
All right, Danny, thank you much. Your overall thoughts on the 2024 edition of the men's basketball tournament.
Yeah, Zach, dude, it's been super fun to watch. Like you said, man. I mean, upsets and storylines and redemption stories with Caleb Love going to Arizona and potentially Arizona and UNC matching up. I mean, this is what makes the NCAA tournament super special. And I mean, while we're talking about, I know we didn't focus this podcast on it, but I mean, it has been super fun to watch. Iowa on the women's side. I mean, Caitlin Clark is doing some serious balling right now. I mean, she has been tremendous. So just seeing all of with both on the men's and women's side. I mean, it's just been just awesome to watch great basketball, really. I think what's super special about the NCAA tournament is you never know what's going to happen. That's what makes it great. So I'm looking forward to the Sweet 16, man.
Thank you very much, Danny. All right, do you have anything else to contribute to this episode here today?
No, Zach. Yeah, not really, boss.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much for taking the time for your insight and analysis, as always. And thank you for taking the time to call in here and do a podcast remotely from your vehicle, by the sounds of it. I always appreciate your dedication to this production. Okay. And next, for our next episode, we're going to be talking about the Pirates and previewing that. But that will be saved for next time, right here on the Local Lowdown podcast. And for one last time, he's Danny Shamholzer. I'm Zach Bischoff. We'll see you next time.